Flash, together with PDF, redefine what a document can do.
Hello and welcome to IT Matters. Today's discussion will be about migrating and sharing security settings. My name is Joel Geraci, and I'm the Acrobat Technical Evangelist. Now, if you have not deployed Acrobat or Reader, I would recommend that you use the customization wizard to customize your security settings during the installation process. If you have already deployed Acrobat and Reader, the rest of this presentation will discuss how you can update the security settings on each of those desktops quickly and easily. Before I get into the demonstration portion, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we mean by document security. There are 5 key components to document security, and they fall into 2 different categories. Under document control, you have access control, so who is allowed to open that document. Authorization is that the person who you've authorized to open the document, and auditing, what have they done with the document. And then in the digital signatures category, you have authenticity. Is this person really the person they say they are? And integrity. Has the document been modified since it was signed? Adobe Acrobat can be used to apply any or all of these attributes to your documents. There are 3 different ways that you can control your documents. With simple password security, you can prevent someone from opening a document unless they know the password, or modifying the document unless they know the password, or both. With certificate-based security, a public certificate can be used to encrypt a document for a specific set of recipients. Unlike password security, certificate-based security allows you to assign different permissions to different users. This will allow you to distribute a document so that one group of users will be able to modify it and another group of users will only be able to view or print it. And finally, we have security based on the Lifecycle Rights Management Server. With the Lifecycle Rights Management Server, policies are stored on the server, which allows you to modify them after the files have been distributed. With the Rights Management Server, you're able to revoke the usage rights to a document no matter where it's been distributed. On the digital signature side of things, Adobe Acrobat supports 2 types of digital signatures: approval signatures and certifying signatures. Approval signatures are basically the same meaning as a handwritten signature. You're approving, or you could supply another reason for signing the document. You can also add something called seed values to the digital signature fields, which will allow you to predefine a reason for signing the document. Or you can also ensure that only certain certificates from certain CAs can be used for signing that particular digital signature field. The first person to sign a document can certify that document so that it becomes locked and only certain types of changes are allowed. Now, in the past few slides, I've talked about using security based on connecting to a server or having access to certain digital certificates. Using the Acrobat user interface to configure how you access those servers and certificates is relatively trivial. However, it is a multi-step process and does involve multiple dialog boxes, and it's not the kind of thing you'll want your typical knowledge worker to do on their own. So, new in Acrobat 9, we've added the ability to export all of your security settings to a single file that you can then distribute and allow other people to import. To begin the process, the first thing you're going to want to do is set up your copy of Acrobat to work exactly the same way that you need it to work everywhere. Once you've done that, select Advanced, Security, and then Export Security Settings. You're then given the opportunity to pick groups of settings to export, or you can simply click OK. All of these settings are described in the Acrobat help file, or you can download the Security Documentation Portfolio by clicking on the Files button at the bottom right of this video window. You can then click Export to encrypt, certify, and write out the security settings file. Just like a PDF, you can use password or certificate-based security. I'll use a digital certificate for my encryption. You can select a list of recipients that can import those settings, and for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to use myself. If you've created certified documents using Adobe Acrobat, you can see that the process is very similar. Here, I'm using the certificate issued to me by my IT department. Now all I need to do is supply a file name. And that's all there is to it. Now you can email the security settings file, and people with Acrobat or Reader can import those settings, and their system will be set up exactly the same way as yours. Reader's menus are set up a little bit differently than a full copy of Acrobat, so in Reader you'll want to select Document, Security, and then Import Security Settings. The second way that you can migrate or share settings is by using FDF files. FDF stands for Forms Data Format, and in earlier versions of Acrobat it was used just to exchange form data. But over the years, its uses have expanded, and now can do a lot more things. For example, configuring a comment repository for shared reviews, and also, as I'm going to discuss now, exchanging security settings. One of the key advantages of using FDF is that your recipients just need to double-click on the FDF file, and Acrobat will recognize it, open it, and then import whatever settings are in that particular file. The drawback is you can only export one set of settings at a time. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to export our root certificate so that anybody in the organization can exchange signed documents with anyone else. But this process can also be used to export certificates of individuals. To begin, select Advanced, and then Manage Trusted Identities. Then select Certificates from the drop-down menu. The actual names of my coworkers have been obfuscated because this is, after all, a security presentation. So what I'm going to do is select the Adobe Root CA and then click Export. I'm going to accept the default setting of FDF Data Exchange, and then I will sign that FDF in the same way that I did with the Acrobat Security Settings file. Then I simply save the file and complete the wizard. You can also export individual settings as FDF files by accessing the Security Settings dialog. Select Advanced Security Settings. For this demo, I'll select the Lifecycle Rights Management Server, and then click Export. And then the Data Exchange wizard starts up, and you continue as we did earlier. Finally, if you click on the Files button towards the bottom right of this video window, you can download the Acrobat Security Documentation Kit as a PDF portfolio. This portfolio contains all of the documentation for Acrobat 9 Security, including the Acrobat 9 Security Administration Guide. Thank you for watching IT Matters.